people like David Sankok, they were complaining they are not being paid on time because of the remissions. Will this cooperation and mainstreaming of Macron and France into the East African Development Bank maybe reawaken this particular bloc and also reawaken superpowers like Britain to see, yes, there's another entrant in that bloc that we had a footing since colonial era?
That's an interesting observation, because one of my thinking, and I mentioned that area, was France getting into Kenya through all these projects would be an entry point to the rest of East Africa, because Kenya is very influential.
Yes.
So if you can get to Kenya, you can get to the rest of East Africa. Some of these projects can then be scaled up into the rest of East Africa or the East African region. But as to what is happening to East African community, that has been a major concern to me. Mm-hmm. In fact, it's interesting. We are talking about summit with France. We are talking about China. In fact, we talk about China, we talk about US, we talk about UAE, more than East African community.
More than East Africa.
So, and it's unfortunate, because to me, I thought that was a starting point in our quest to become an economic bloc and develop the economy. Charity starts at home. Yes. So President Macron can see that these institutions are not very strong. Mm-hmm. So if they're not very strong, I can take advantage of them and go and build them in the image of France in a way that France is going to benefit.
Dictate the terms.
Remember that at the end of the day, France and other countries, China, UAE and so on, have their strategic interests. Let's not always assume that they come here because they love us so much. No, they have their strategic interests. So when you see for the French president coming from France to Kenya, coming on the platform and telling us to keep quiet and listen and so on, I'm sure it's not because of just politics. I think he has some interest at heart. And if we don't take care of our strategic interests, somebody will take care of their own. So we need to strengthen our institutions. You can see how China has been trying to make use of African Union.
True.
Very well, even building their headquarters. Not because they love us so much, but they have their interest, they will go through that. The same way, I'm sure, I don't know again whether you are married. If you are, did you are serious, man?
This is the second time.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know you probably built your mother-in-law a very good house. Is that true? If you can? Is it because you love her so much? It's because, you know, if you build your mother-in-law a very good house and so on, you have a lot of peace at home. So that's exactly what French, the Japanese and the rest are doing in Africa. They're building a house for their mother-in-law because they know.
Prof, you're dispensing wisdom this morning. Apart from...
has anybody contested my wisdom?
No, not really.
Economics is not tied to wisdom, but they are compatible.
They are compatible. Yes. They intertwine.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting that these conversations are being had whereby there is a call for nations to be